Warm greetings from GNV Academy. Today in this session, we will discuss about secured storage media destruction policy, which is covered under Control 7.10 of ISO 27001 standard. Let us take a quick look at the key points which will be discussed today. What is secured storage media destruction? Which media needs to be disposed of? Purpose of Control 7.10. Guidance on secure reuse and disposal of storage media. And the last one is common methods used in disposal and destruction. So let's begin our discussion and talk about what is secured storage media destruction and reuse. Use of storage media devices such as solid state drives, SSD, USB sticks, external drives and mobile phones are vital to many critical information processing operations such as data backup, data storage and information transfer. However, the storage of sensitive and critical information on these devices introduces risk to the integrity, confidentiality and availability of the information assets. These risks may include loss or theft of storage media containing sensitive information, propagation of malware into all corporate computing networks via the storage media, and failure and degradation of storage media devices used for data backup. Control 7.10 addresses how organizations can establish appropriate procedures, policies, and controls to maintain the security of storage media throughout its life cycle, from its acquisition to its disposal. Organizations must have a disposal and restriction policy covering all data and assets, including electronic and paper records. The policy should specify the methods that will be used for disposal and destruction, as well as the criteria for determining when data and assets should be disposed of. Regular reviews and revisions of the policy are required. Now let us know which media needs to be disposed of or refused. First, let's identify what media we need to take care of, as well as why and how we can secure dispose of them. Taking into consideration that in ISO 27001, the most important thing is the information. We need to take care of the media that we are using to store sensitive information. But what do I mean by media? Generally, in this context, a media is a device that is used for storing information. So, media would include hard drives, USB pen drives, external hard drives, CDs, DVDs, etc. Think about the following scenarios. Printed documents, for example, budget drafts or clients' refused proposals, are no longer needed and used as scratch paper or accumulated in waiting areas for removal. Defective equipment, for example, CEO's tablet or project teams. Notebooks being discarded by maintenance staff, put directly in the trash or sold as a scrap. Equipment considered obsolete, for example, a 5-year-old server in good condition, sold to recoup part of the investment or donated to enhance business image. In these situations, how would someone ensure that document, equipment, recovery or reuse would not provide information that may compromise business activities or people's privacy? In an internet search, you can find cases where proper disposal of assets and documents was the root cause of the incident. An organization's hard drive was sold on the internet containing thousands of confidential documents, employee names, social security numbers, and confidential memos to the CEO. A disposal computer in a university contained names, social security numbers, and financial aid information of thousands of students. An organization was using recycled paper containing credit, debit card, and personal information, potentially exposing thousands of records. Fortunately, ISO 27001 can provide some orientation and guidance on how to securely dispose of media and assets in ways which minimize the risk of exposing compromising information. We will now move forward and talk about the purpose of Control of 7.10. Control 7.10 enables organizations to eliminate and mitigate risk of unauthorized access to, use, deletion, modification and transfer of sensitive information hosted on storage media devices by setting out procedures for the handling of storage media across its entire life cycle. We will now talk about the general guidance on compliance for removable storage media. While removable storage media is essential to many business operations and they are commonly used by most personnel, they present the highest degree of risk of the sensitive information. Control 7.10 lists 10 requirements organizations should adhere to for the management of removable storage media throughout its life cycle. The first one is organizations should establish a topic-specific policy on the acquisition, authorization, use and disposal of removable storage media. This policy should be communicated to all personnel and to all relevant parties. The second one is if it is practical and necessary, organizations should put in place authorization procedures on how removable storage media can be taken out of corporate premises. Furthermore, organizations should maintain log records of the removal of storage media for audit trial purpose. Third one is all removable storage media should be stored in a secure area such as safe, taking into account the information classification level assigned to the information and the environment and physical threats to storage media. The fourth one is if confidentiality and integrity of information contained on removable storage media are of critical importance, cryptographic techniques should be used to protect the storage of media against unauthorized access. The fifth one is against the risk of degradation of removable storage media and loss of information stored on the media. The information should be transferred to a new storage media device before such risk occurs. The sixth one is critical and sensitive information should be copied and stored on multiple storage media to minimize the risk of loss of critical information. The seventh one is to mitigate the risk of complete loss of information. Registration of removable storage media devices can be an option to consider. The eighth one is unless there is a business related reason to use removable storage media ports such as USB ports or SD card slots, they should not be allowed. The ninth one is there needs to be a monitoring mechanism in place for the transfer of information to removable storage media devices. The 10th one is when information contained in physical mediums such as papers is transferred via courier or post, there is a higher risk of unauthorized access to information. Therefore, appropriate measures should be applied. We will now move forward and talk about guidance on secure reuse and disposal of storage media. Control 7.10 provides separate guidance on secure reuse and disposal of storage media so that organizations can mitigate and eliminate risk to the compromise of the confidentiality of information. Control 7.10 highlights that organizations should define and apply procedures for the reuse and disposal of storage media, taking into account the sensitivity level of information contained in the storage media. In establishing these procedures, organizations should consider the following. The first one is if a storage of media will be reused by an internal party within an organization, the sensitive information hosted on that storage media should be irreversibly deleted or reformatted before it is authorized for reuse. The second one is storage media hosting sensitive information should be destroyed in a secure manner when it is no longer needed. For instance, paper documents can be shredded and digital equipment can be physically destroyed. The third one is there should be a procedure for the identification of storage media items that needed to be disposed of. The fourth one is when organizations choose to work with an external party to handle the collection of disposal of storage media, they should conduct due diligence to ensure that chosen vendor is competent and it implements appropriate controls. The fifth one is maintaining a record of all disposed items for audit trial. The sixth one is when multiple storage media is to be disposed of together. The accumulation effect should be taken into account. Combining different information pieces from each storage media may transform non-sensitive information into sensitive information. Last but not the least, Control 7.10 requires organization to carry out a risk assessment on damaged equipment, storing confidential information to decide if the equipment should be destroyed instead of being repaired. And lastly, we will talk about the common methods used for disposal and destruction of storage media. The following are the several ways to destroy confidential information. Shredding is a popular method of destroying confidential information because it is quick and easy. However, it is essential to note that shredding does not eliminate the information. The shredded paper can still be pieced together, which means that someone with enough patience and potentially reconstructed the data. Burning is another popular method of destroying confidential information. Burning destroys the paper's physical structure, making it much more challenging to reconstruct the data. However, burning also releases harmful chemicals into the air, which can harm nearby people and animals. Pulping is a process that breaks down the paper into small pieces using water and chemicals. This process usually takes place at a paper recycling facility. Once the document has been pulped, it is challenging to reconstruct the original document. So we have now come to the conclusion of this session. In case you have any questions regarding today's topic, then please put them in the comment section of the video and we will be really happy answering them. Till we meet next, it's best wishes from TNV Academy. Thank you.